Today I'm going to show you how to get a really cool vocoder backing vocal that sounds something like this.
Say that no one dies from love. Guess I'll be the first.
So I'm going to show you through the process of how I do it, and there's lots of actual different ways of doing it within Ableton Live or any DAW. So let's get started. So firstly, what you need is obviously you need the vocal, and the vocal is just clean like this.
No one dies from love.
Now the vocal itself is compressed. It has a bit of micro shift on there and Saturn 2, which is a saturator, and EQ. So it has kind of the normal elements of a vocal, and also we're sending a reverb to the vocal, as you can see here, and we're also sending a little bit of delay to the vocal. So overall it has a nice, clean and lush sound. But how do we get these vocoder vocals? Well, the way I do it is I have a MIDI track. In Ableton, the MIDI track is literally a copy of the main chords of the song. So if we listen to some of the chords of the songs, this is how they sound. So I've just literally copied them into an empty MIDI track just like that, and as you'll see, there's like literally nothing in the MIDI track. And then on the copied vocals I have a vocalsynth 2. So yes, I did copy the vocals into another track. I put a vocalsynth 2. So vocalsynth 2 is an isotope product, but you can also use a vocoder from Ableton. I just really like this product. I think it's actually really cool. There will be a link in the description to the product details if you want to purchase the product. So let's just have a quick look at how vocalsynth 2 works. So the way it works here is you have two types of modes. You have like this automatic mode. So when you use automatic mode, it will basically create a robotic sound on the vocal, but it won't link it to any MIDI or any MIDI type of chords or anything like that. But if you click on MIDI, which is what I've done, and I click accept, and by the way, vocalsynth 2 actually even gives you setup instructions in case you're not sure how to do it. And then you go through the presets. Now, there are actually a lot of really useful presets. I use one called Gentle Whisper. You can obviously tweak your own sounds, but these presets are really good, and there's actually quite a lot of them that you can choose from. If you listen to the vocoder and listen to different presets, you'll see the difference. Let's try a different preset. Let's just go back to the original one there. So for me, that seemed to work the best. Now the thing about MIDI is very dependent on the octave. So say for example, you change the octave, we go up an octave here, it will just sound different. And as we go down, so you really need to pick that sweet spot using the MIDI. And I've just chosen this a little bit lower vocal because it's a female vocal. I think the lower sound complements the higher female frequencies a little bit better. So that's the first thing to know. And then the other thing is you want to connect the MIDI to vocalsynth. So you want to send the MIDI to vocalsynth. The best way to do that is to go in and select the actual track that you want to send the MIDI information to, and then select the first vocalsynth send to. So it will basically send this MIDI information to the plugin, as you can see there. In the MIDI track, you really don't want anything in this MIDI track. You don't want an instrument, you don't want effects, you don't want anything in there. What could happen is you might not send the right thing to the track, or even worse than that, it just won't work. So it's just a kind of a glitch of Ableton how that works. The other thing you want to do is just add some light compression to the track. And I also tried using a saturator. Now this is down to your taste. I decided not to use that in the end, and we want a EQ to take quite a lot of the lows out. But once again, it depends on the type of vocal you're using. You might want to have a different EQ for the female vocal, but what you don't want with the vocoder robotic vocals is them to overpower the vocals. You really want them as a backing vocal. So I did take quite a bit of the highs out and the low frequencies out, just a little dip there at 959 hertz as well, just so it doesn't really overshadow the actual main vocal. So if we listen to it together,
No one dies from love. Guess I'll be the first.
And as you can see here, I'm using the robotic vocals throughout the song. So you can actually use it to good effect to do quite a lot of interesting things. So for example here, And you can use it here chopped up with some other chopped up vocals. And it sounds really good at the end of a song too, kind of like bringing the song out. Remember, if you want reverb, you can just add more reverb like that. But you don't want to go overboard with the reverb. So that's pretty much it. It's a nice and sweet short video. I hope it helped. If you've got any questions, please put them through in the comments and I'll be really happy to help. Bye.